The massive alien ships appeared suddenly on Earth's long-range sensors in the spring of 2157. They moved with purpose, slowing as they passed Jupiter, clearly heading toward humanity's homeworld. On Earth, in the Washington Command Center, Commander Gregory Allen watched the main screen with narrowed eyes. Beside him, diplomat Catherine Morgan clutched her tablet, reviewing first contact protocols for the 100th time. "They're not hiding," Gregory said. "They want us to see them coming." Catherine nodded, either very confident or very peaceful. The room around them buzzed with controlled activity as military personnel and civilian scientists prepared for humanity's first meeting with alien life. 50 years of Mars and Europa colonization had prepared humans for space, but not for this. 3 days later, the alien vessels entered Earth orbit. They sent a simple message in perfect English. "We are representatives of the Galactic Council, a federation of 24 spacefaring species. We come to welcome humanity to the greater community of stars." The United Nations quickly selected a delegation. Commander Allen would represent Earth's military interests. Catherine Morgan, with her background in international law, would handle diplomatic matters. 4 scientists and 3 political leaders completed the team. The aliens chose a neutral meeting place, an orbital platform above the Pacific Ocean. The human delegation arrived in a shuttle, hearts racing, as the airlock opened to reveal their visitors. The aliens were varied. The lead delegate resembled a tall, elegant spider with blue-green coloring. It wore a silver device around what might be its neck. "I am Ambassador Zix Talon of the Arachnid Consortium, senior member of the Galactic Council," it said, the translator device converting its clicks and whistles to English. Behind Zix Talon stood representatives from other species, a floating cloud of purple gas contained in a transparent field, a massive turtle-like being with 4 arms, something that looked like a walking tree, and others too strange to easily describe. "On behalf of Earth and all human colonies, we welcome you," Catherine said, stepping forward. The initial meeting went well. The aliens explained the Council's history spanning 12,000 years. They described peaceful trade networks, shared scientific knowledge, and joint colonization efforts. "We offer Earth membership in our council," Zix Talon said. "Your species shows great promise." Gregory noticed something in the alien's tone. "What are the terms of this membership?" he asked. The full conditions came the next day. Humanity would need to halt all military expansion, accept resource-gathering quotas, stay away from certain areas of space deemed culturally significant to elder species, submit to regular inspections of human technology. "These are standard conditions for new members," explained a turtle-like alien named Drex, "for your protection and ours." During a break, Gregory found Catherine in a quiet corner. "They're treating us like children," he whispered. "I noticed," she replied. "And did you see this?" She showed him her tablet. Security had found tiny devices hidden throughout the meeting rooms. Alien surveillance. "They don't trust us," Gregory said. "Or they're hiding something." When the meeting resumed, Catherine spoke carefully. "The people of Earth appreciate your offer. We request 3 months to consider these terms and prepare our response." The aliens seemed surprised. "Most species accept immediately," said Zix Talon. "Humans prefer to consider important decisions thoroughly," Catherine replied with a polite smile. Later, as the human delegation prepared to return to Earth, a security officer approached Gregory. "Sir, we found more of those devices. They were trying to download our databases." Gregory shared a look with Catherine. "Send word to every colony and outpost," he said quietly. "Full security protocols. And get me everything we have on Council species tech. If they're spying on us, I want to know what they're really after." Catherine watched the alien ships through the viewport. "They've been running things their way for thousands of years," she said. "I don't think they're prepared for how humans respond to being told what to do." Gregory nodded. 3 months to prepare, because something tells me they won't take no for an answer." 3 months passed quickly. Earth and its colonies worked day and night to prepare for the Council's return. Military bases increased security. Scientists studied the alien technology they had observed. Diplomats drafted possible responses. On the day of the Council's return, the same orbital station hosted the meeting. This time, Admiral Samantha Lewis joined the human team. Her service record was legendary, and her presence sent a clear message. The aliens entered the room with confidence. Ambassador Zix Talon moved forward, the silver translator device at its neck glinting under the lights. The Council is pleased to welcome humanity to our galactic family. The spider-like alien began. We have prepared the membership documents for your representatives to sign. Admiral Lewis stepped forward instead of Catherine. Ambassador, we appreciate the Council's offer. However, after careful consideration, Earth must respectfully decline these terms. Silence filled the room. The aliens froze in place, the purple gas being shimmered rapidly in what might have been shock. Decline. Zix Talon's translator could not hide the disbelief in its voice. No species has rejected Council membership in over 40,000 years. We are not rejecting friendship, Admiral Lewis clarified. We are rejecting these specific terms. She activated a display showing the counter-proposal. We offer instead a treaty between equals. Humanity will share knowledge and resources, but we require equal voting rights and fair territory expansion allowances. The turtle-like alien named Drex moved forward. This is not how the Council operates. Young species must be guided by those with experience. We guide ourselves, Admiral Lewis replied firmly. Zix Talon's body language changed, becoming more rigid. Perhaps humans do not understand the dangers of space. The Council could establish protective oversight of human worlds for your own safety. The room temperature seemed to drop. Admiral Lewis touched a control on her wrist device. Screens around the room lit up, showing detailed images of Council surveillance devices found throughout human territory. Perhaps the Council does not understand humans, she said. We discovered your spy networks on all our worlds. We request their immediate removal. The aliens looked at each other, the walking tree being made rapid clicking sounds that the translators didn't catch. This meeting is clearly premature, Zix Talon said finally. We will return when humans better understand their place in the galactic order. As the alien delegation moved to leave, Commander Gregory Allen noticed something interesting. The Council members were arguing quietly among themselves. The turtle-like Drex seemed particularly upset with Zix Talon. After the aliens departed, Catherine approached Gregory. That went about as expected, she said. Gregory nodded. Did you notice the arguing? They're not as united as they want us to think. 2 days later, Catherine received an unexpected message. A ship requested permission to dock at the orbital station. It carried representatives from 2 Council species, the canine-like Vargans and the crystalline Korath. The meeting was kept secret. Only Catherine, Gregory, and Admiral Lewis attended. The Vargan representative, a wolf-like being named Trax Dolphin, spoke first. Not all Council members agree with the Elder's approach to humanity, he said. Some of us believe the Council needs change. The crystalline Korath flickered with blue light as she spoke. The elder species have ruled for too long. They fear your kind because you advance quickly. In 300 years, you went from primitive flight to interplanetary colonies. It took my people 2,000 years to do the same. Admiral Lewis studied them carefully. Why tell us this? Because the Council is fracturing, Trax explained. What happens next will affect all our species. The Elders will not accept your rejection easily. Catherine leaned forward. Are you suggesting an alliance? The Korath's lights pulsed faster. We are suggesting possibility. If humans stand firm, others might find courage to question the old ways. As the secret meeting ended, Gregory watched the alien ship depart. It's not just about Earth anymore, is it? He asked quietly. Admiral Lewis shook her head. It never was. We just showed the first crack in their perfect system. Now we prepare for what comes next. News traveled fast through the galaxy. The Galactic Council called an emergency session on their capital world, Harmonious Unity. For the first time in thousands of years, the usually private council meetings were broadcast across all member worlds. The elders wanted everyone to see humanity put in its place. It didn't go as planned. On Earth, Gregory, Catherine, and Admiral Lewis watched the feed along with billions of humans across the solar system. The massive council chamber looked like a giant bowl with hundreds of platforms holding representatives from different species. This special session addresses the human rejection of council terms, announced the eldest Meldorian, a floating gas being. Such defiance threatens the stability of our 12,000-year peace. What should have been a simple condemnation turned into something unexpected. The council members began arguing openly. "Perhaps the humans raise valid points," said Trax Dolphin, the Vargan representative. His wolf-like face appeared on a close-up view. Why should new species accept less rights than the elder races? The council was founded on principles of unity, not hierarchy. The chamber erupted in noise. Species began taking sides. The ancient arachnids and gaseous Noldorians demanded human compliance. Middle-aged species suggested new negotiations. The youngest races openly supported Earth's position. "The humans have shown us our own hypocrisy," Trax continued. "We preach galactic unity while preserving ancient power structures." On Earth, Catherine turned to the others. "We need to take advantage of this division. We should establish formal diplomatic channels with sympathetic species." Gregory nodded. "And we need defenses that won't trigger full-scale war." Within days, Catherine established the Human Diplomatic Corps, reaching out to friendly council races. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Peter Hayes, a brilliant military strategist, developed what he called the Sentinel Protocol, a defensive network that could protect human worlds without appearing overly aggressive. "The key is information," Peter explained in the command center. "These sensor arrays will detect any ship movements toward our territory. We position defensive platforms that remain dormant until activated. It's protection without provocation." Admiral Lewis approved the plan. "Begin installation immediately, starting with the outer colonies." 2 weeks later, Catherine received messages from 6 different council species requesting private communication channels. The galaxy was choosing sides. The Korath representative contacted them directly. The crystalline beings' lights pulsed in patterns that their translators converted to speech. "The Elder Bloc has formed a coalition against you," the alien warned. "They fear what you represent." "And what is that?" Catherine asked. "Change," came the simple reply. "The Council has operated the same way for thousands of years. Elder species rule, younger ones obey. But your kind advances too quickly. Their predictions show humans reaching technological parity with elder races within centuries, not millennia." Gregory frowned. "They're afraid we'll challenge their power." "They're afraid you already have," the Korath corrected. "By simply saying no, you showed others it was possible." Admiral Lewis joined the conversation. "Will there be military action against Earth?" The Korath's lights dimmed. "Not directly. The elders prefer subtle approaches. Trade restrictions, diplomatic isolation, perhaps proxy conflicts in disputed regions." Catherine thought for a moment. "And what about your people? Why help us?" "Because you created something rare in our galaxy, possibility. My species has waited 2,000 years for full council representation. The Vargans have waited 1,500. How long should we wait for equality?" When the communication ended, Gregory stared at the star map showing known council territories. "Everything's changing," he said quietly. Admiral Lewis stood beside him. "Let's make sure it changes in our favor. Accelerate the Sentinel Protocol deployment. And tell Catherine to push forward with those diplomatic channels." In the vast darkness of space, ships from various species began changing course, some moving away from Earth. Others, surprisingly, moving closer as alliances slowly formed. The Galactic Council's unity collapsed like a house of cards. The Elder Bloc, led by the ancient arachnids and Noldorians, announced trade sanctions against human worlds. In response, Earth signed defense agreements with the Vargans, Korith, and 4 other younger species. Catherine Morgan worked tirelessly, traveling between diplomatic meetings on different worlds. Her team expanded as more humans trained in alien languages and customs. We need to understand their cultures if we want true allies, not just convenient friends, she told her staff. On the military front, Admiral Lewis watched the growing tensions with concern. The first sign of trouble came from the Ta Ceti system, where humans had established mining operations on an asteroid belt. "We've lost contact with Outpost Gamma," reported Lieutenant Commander Eric Sullivan during the morning briefing. The last message mentioned unidentified ships entering the system. Admiral Lewis frowned. "Send the Northern Star to investigate. Tell Captain Nichols to proceed with caution." When the Northern Star arrived at Ta Ceti, they found the outpost under attack. 6 unmarked vessels were firing on the human facility. The attackers used weapons clearly manufactured by Elder Block species, but carried no official markings. "Mercenaries," Eric explained to Admiral Lewis during the emergency call. "Hired guns doing the Elder Block's dirty work while maintaining deniability." On the screen, they watched as the Northern Star engaged the attackers. Captain Nichols coordinated with 2 Vargan patrol ships that arrived to help. Together, they drove off the mercenaries, but the outpost had suffered significant damage. "This is just the beginning," Admiral Lewis said quietly after the report. "They're testing our defenses and our resolve." Meanwhile, Catherine traveled to neutral space for secret meetings with moderate council members. She met with representatives from species that hadn't yet chosen sides in the growing conflict. A reptilian diplomat named Severax shared disturbing information during one meeting. "The Elder Block fears your kind more than they admit publicly," he said, his scaled face serious in the dim light. "Their predictive models show humanity's technology advancing rapidly. Within 500 years, your capabilities could surpass even the eldest races." "That's centuries away," Catherine pointed out. "Why act against us now?" "Because now is when you can be controlled," Severax explained. "The Elders believe in maintaining the existing order above all else. A species that advances too quickly disrupts that order." Catherine thought about this as she returned to Earth. The real conflict wasn't about resources or territory. It was about change versus stability, innovation versus tradition. The situation escalated further when Council Representative Neri Vex of the crystalline Korith arrived unexpectedly at Earth's orbital station. The alien requested immediate asylum. Gregory Allen handled the sensitive meeting personally. "You're defecting?" he asked, surprised by the request. Neri Vex's crystal body flickered with blue and green lights. "I bring information your people need to survive. The Elder Block has authorized a containment initiative against human worlds." Gregory tensed. "What kind of containment?" "Military action disguised as security operations. They plan to establish weapons platforms near your colonies, claiming their defensive measures to protect trade routes." "That would put our outposts within striking distance," Gregory realized. Neri Vex's lights pulsed more rapidly. "Precisely. Once in position, they will demand human compliance with original council terms. If you refuse again..." The alien didn't need to finish. The threat was clear. Gregory immediately contacted Admiral Lewis and Catherine. Earth's leadership gathered in the secure command center below Washington to plan their response. "We need to act first," Admiral Lewis argued. "If they position those platforms, our colonies will be hostages." Catherine nodded. "And we need to make sure our allies stand with us. The Vargans and Korith have their own territories to protect." As the meeting continued into the night, reports arrived of unusual ship movements in 3 different sectors. The Elder Block was already mobilizing their forces. The first real test of humanity's place among the stars had begun. The Elder Block didn't wait long to make their move. 3 weeks after Neri Vex's warning, automated drone fleets appeared near 7 human outposts. They moved with perfect coordination in what the Elder Block called Operation Shattered Mirror. On the orbital command station Aegis, Admiral Lewis watched the tactical display as red dots surrounded human territories. "They're jamming our communications with the colonies," reported Lieutenant Hayes. "Standard Elder Block tactic. Isolate, then strike." Admiral Lewis nodded grimly. "Activate the Sentinel Protocol. All sectors." Across human space, hidden defense platforms came online. These were the fruits of Lieutenant Hayes' planning. Weapons systems positioned months earlier, waiting for this moment. "The Vargans and Korath forces are moving to support our outer colonies," Gregory reported as he entered the command center. "But they won't reach Europa outpost in time." The drone fleet attacking Europa colony was the largest. Thousands of automated weapons platforms descended on the ice-covered moon, where 5,000 humans lived. What happened next surprised even humanity's allies. The drones encountered a defense they hadn't expected. Dr. Alan Wright, Europa's lead scientist, had developed quantum communication jammers that disrupted the drones' coordinated movements. The automated attackers began colliding with each other as their navigation systems failed. "It's working," Dr. Wright reported over the emergency channel. "But they're adapting. We need reinforcements." Admiral Lewis directed the battle from Aegis Station, coordinating human ships with their alien allies. The Vargans provided faster-than-light communications when normal channels were jammed. The Korath offered shield technology that protected key installations. While the battle raged, a small stealth ship slipped through the chaos. Aboard were Major Daniel Cooper and Neri Vex, the Korath defector. Their mission was critical: infiltrate the Elder Block command nexus controlling the drone fleets. "We're approaching the command vessel," Major Cooper reported through a secure channel. "It's hiding behind the moon of HD 200 and 9,458. Proceed with caution," Admiral Lewis ordered. "We need proof of who authorized this attack." Using Korath identification codes, they docked with the massive Elder Block vessel. Neri Vex's crystalline body could change color, allowing her to impersonate a loyal council representative. They made their way to the vessel's central control room. What they discovered was shocking. The attack wasn't authorized by the full council at all. Instead, a secretive subcommittee called the Preservation Directorate had launched Operation Shattered Mirror without proper approval. "They're acting independently," Neri Vex transmitted back to Earth. "Many council members don't even know this is happening." Major Cooper accessed the command systems while Neri Vex distracted the few organic crew members. He uploaded a virus designed by Dr. Wright, which sent conflicting orders to the drone fleets. Across all 7 battlefields, the attacking forces suddenly became confused. Some shut down completely. Others retreated. The precision of their coordinated assault collapsed. On Europa, Dr. Wright watched in amazement as the drones withdrew. "They're pulling back," he reported. "The jammers are working better than expected." By focusing defensive fire on key command nodes, human forces disabled the remaining attack drones with minimal casualties on both sides. No Elder Block organic crews were targeted, only the automated systems. News of the human victory spread rapidly through Council space. 3 more species publicly questioned Elder leadership. The Galactic Council's 12,000-year-old power structure visibly crumbled. In the aftermath, Admiral Lewis addressed Earth's leadership. "This wasn't just a military victory," she explained. "It was a political one. By targeting only automated systems and avoiding Elder Block casualties, we showed restraint. By defending ourselves effectively, we showed strength." Catherine Morgan nodded. "And now we have proof the Preservation Directorate acted without authorization. That will fracture the Council even further." Gregory looked at the updated star map. More than a third of Council species now aligned with humanity or declared neutrality. "We're not looking for a war," he said, "but we won't be controlled either." Admiral Lewis studied reports from the battle. The galaxy is changing, and humanity is the catalyst. The failed attack changed everything. Council space buzzed with news of Operation Shattered Mirror and how humans had defeated it. The elder species struggled to control the narrative, but evidence of the Preservation Directorate's unauthorized actions spread quickly. In this moment of crisis, an unexpected voice called for calm. The Terrians, a neutral species respected for their philosophical wisdom, proposed an unprecedented solution: the Great Debate. All species will send representatives, explained the Terrian message. Each will speak openly about the future of galactic governance. No secrets, no private meetings. The entire galaxy will watch. On Earth, Catherine Morgan prepared to represent humanity in this historic forum. She spent days with her team, studying council history and working on her presentation. "This isn't just about us anymore," she told Gregory as they walked through the gardens of the Diplomatic Center. "It's about reshaping how all species interact." Gregory nodded. "Be careful. The Elder Bloc will try to paint us as dangerous upstarts." The Great Debate took place on a massive space station near the galactic core. Representatives from all 24 council species attended, plus humanity. Billions of beings across thousands of worlds watched the broadcast. The Terrian moderator, a tall being with silvery skin, opened the proceedings. "We gather to address fundamental questions about our shared future. How should species govern together? Does age grant special privilege? Should innovation be controlled or encouraged?" Elder representatives spoke first. The arachnid diplomat Zix Talon stepped forward. "For 12,000 years, the Council has maintained peace and stability," Zix Talon said. "We guide younger species because we have seen the dangers of unchecked advancement. Civilizations that grow too quickly often destroy themselves." Representatives from middle-aged species followed, offering compromise positions. Then came the younger races, with the Vargans and Quorith openly supporting human independence. Finally, Catherine Morgan took the central platform. Her simple blue uniform stood out among the elaborate dress of other representatives. "Humanity does not reject cooperation," she began. "We reject control. The Council was founded on noble principles, but has become a system where age, not merit, determines influence. Where stability is valued above innovation, where control replaces cooperation." The chamber remained silent as she continued. "We propose a council based on contribution, not age, where new ideas are welcomed, not feared, where different paths of development are respected, not restricted." Catherine displayed images from human history. "Our species has made terrible mistakes. We've had wars, environmental disasters, and social upheavals. But from each failure, we learned and grew stronger. We don't claim to have all answers, but we know that preventing mistakes by restricting growth leads to stagnation, not wisdom." As Catherine finished, Ambassador Zix Talon requested to respond. The arachnid moved to the center of the chamber, seeming somehow smaller than before. "Let me speak plainly," Zix Talon said. "We fear humanity because our predictive models show your development outpacing all known patterns. Within a millennium, humans might evolve beyond biological limitations altogether. Such rapid advancement threatens the stable order we have maintained." Gasps echoed through the chamber. This admission shocked even those who had suspected the Elder's true motives. Catherine replied calmly, "Fear of the unknown is natural. But controlling others out of fear is not protection, it's oppression." The debate continued for hours, with representatives from all species speaking freely, many for the first time challenging elder dominance openly. When the forum ended, 7 more species formally broke from the Elder Bloc, joining the humans, Vargans, and Quorith in a new coalition, the Alliance of Sovereign Species. As Catherine returned to Earth, she received messages from dozens of worlds. Species that had been silent for centuries suddenly found their voice. "Everything is changing," she told Gregory upon her return, "and faster than anyone expected." Gregory watched the stars through the viewport. The question is whether the Elders will accept this change or fight to prevent it. With the Council split in two, both sides knew a final confrontation was coming. According to ancient tradition, major galactic disputes were settled at the Conclave, a massive space station older than the Council itself. The conclave predates even the eldest council species, Catherine explained during the strategy meeting. No one knows who built it. By tradition, decisions made there must be respected by all. Admiral Lewis frowned. Sounds like a perfect trap location. Maybe, Gregory agreed, but refusing to attend would make us look afraid. The neutral species would lose faith in our cause. And so representatives from both factions traveled to the ancient conclave station. The human delegation included Catherine, Gregory, and Dr. Alan Wright, whose scientific expertise might prove useful. The conclave hung in space like a giant silver wheel, rotating slowly. As the human ship approached, Dr. Wright studied the structure with growing excitement. This architecture doesn't match any known species, he said, examining sensor readings. The materials are unlike anything in our database. Inside, the conclave's central chamber was a vast circular space with raised platforms for each delegation. Elder block representatives took positions opposite the alliance members. Neutral species sat between them. Ambassador Zix Talon opened the proceedings. For 12,000 years, the Council has maintained galactic peace. Humans and their allies now threaten that stability. Catherine was about to respond when Dr. Wright touched her arm. Something's wrong, he whispered. These readings show energy buildups throughout the station. While diplomatic talks proceeded in the main chamber, Dr. Wright and a team of Vargan scientists slipped away to investigate. What they found shocked them. The conclave contains technology from a precursor civilization. Dr. Wright reported urgently through a secure channel, and the elder species have been studying it in secret for centuries. Gregory frowned. What kind of technology? Control systems. The station has networks that can interface with any ship or installation in range. The elders have been gradually integrating their systems with it. Catherine understood immediately. They could use it to force compliance from all our ships. The crisis escalated when elder block leaders, sensing their plan was discovered, made their move. Hidden panels throughout the conclave slid open. Strange devices emerged, glowing with power. All ships in this sector will now enter lockdown mode, announced Zix Talon. This rebellion ends today. But the elder block had underestimated humanity's allies. Korath technicians had installed shielding on Alliance vessels based on information from Near-Vex. The lockdown signal failed to affect them. As chaos erupted in the main chamber, Commander Gregory Allen led a desperate operation. Alliance security teams raced to secure critical junction points throughout the station. We need to reach the central control hub, Gregory ordered. Dr. Wright, guide us there. Fighting broke out across the conclave. Not with weapons, but with technology, each side trying to control the station's ancient systems. In the main chamber, Catherine confronted Zix Talon directly. Why? Why risk everything we've built together? The arachnid's voice carried unexpected emotion. Because we've seen this before. The precursor civilization that built this station. They destroyed themselves through unchecked advancement. The same path humans will follow. You don't know that, Catherine argued. We've studied their records for millennia, Zix Talon countered. Advanced too quickly. Created technologies they couldn't control. Vanished. As they argued, something unexpected happened. An elder representative named Kiravaz, from a species of plant-like beings, moved to Catherine's side. There is more to this story, Kiravaz said. Show her the complete records, Zix Talon. Not just the parts that support your control. The chamber fell silent. This was unprecedented. An elder block member openly challenging leadership. The precursors didn't just destroy themselves. Kiravaz continued. Half their civilization chose stagnation out of fear. The other half chose innovation. The conflict between these philosophies led to their downfall, not technology itself. Gregory's voice came through Catherine's communicator. We've reached the control center, but we need a council elder's authorization to safely deactivate the systems. Catherine looked at Kiravaz. Will you help us prevent history from repeating itself? In the days following the conclave crisis, the galaxy held its breath. The ancient Galactic Council, which had ruled for 12,000 years, had officially fractured beyond repair. From its ashes, something new began to form. Representatives from 32 species gathered on Earth. Former enemies sat at the same table, united by a shared vision for the future. They called their new organization the Galactic Concord. The Concord will be different, Catherine Morgan explained to the assembled delegates. All species have equal voting rights regardless of age. Technological advancement is encouraged, but with ethical oversight. Cultural differences are respected, not suppressed. Even some elder species joined, though not all. The Arachnids, Meldorians, and 3 others refused, forming their own alliance called the Preservation Compact. But they were now a minority in galactic affairs. Admiral Samantha Lewis became humanity's first High Representative to the Concord. Her military experience and fair handling of the crisis had earned respect from many alien species. "Our goal is not domination but partnership," she said in her acceptance speech. "Humans don't want to rule the stars. We want to explore them, alongside friends who share our curiosity." Commander Gregory Allen took a different path. He would lead a multinational expedition to study the precursor technology safely. The team included scientists from 15 species, including Kiravas and other former Elder Block members who had changed sides. "We won't repeat the mistakes of the past," Gregory told the expedition team as they prepared to depart. "No more secrets, no more hoarding knowledge. Whatever we learn belongs to all sentient beings." Dr. Alan Wright developed new protocols for handling advanced technology. His guidelines, created with input from multiple species, balanced innovation with safety. The Concord adopted these as standard practice throughout Allied space. Catherine Morgan established the Interspecies Collaborative, focusing on solving shared challenges. Their first project targeted a deadly disease affecting 3 different species. Within months, their combined research produced treatments that saved millions of lives. "This is what cooperation can achieve," Catherine told the Concord Assembly. "Problems that seemed unsolvable when facing them alone become manageable when we work together." 1 year after the crisis, the rebuilt Conclave Station hosted a ceremony marking the formal establishment of the Galactic Concord. The ancient hall, once a place of conflict, now symbolized a new beginning. Representatives of all 32 member species stood together as the Concord Charter was signed. The document, translated into every language, guaranteed rights and responsibilities for all members. During the reception that followed, Ambassador Zix Tillon approached Catherine. The arachnid moved more slowly now, showing signs of age rarely seen in public. "We feared your kind would bring chaos to our ordered galaxy," the ambassador said, mandibles clicking softly. "We were right, but we were also wrong. It was not the chaos of destruction, but the chaos of renewal." Catherine smiled. "Change is always difficult, but necessary." "Perhaps," Zix Talon conceded. "The Preservation Compact still believes in our approach. But we will watch how your experiment unfolds." "Not just our experiment," Catherine corrected gently. "The future belongs to all of us." As the ceremony ended, Admiral Lewis joined Catherine by the large viewport overlooking the stars. Ships from dozens of species moved through space, working together in ways unimaginable just a year earlier. "What happens next?" Admiral Lewis asked. Catherine watched the stars, thinking of Earth and how far they had come. "We explore, we learn, we grow, together." In a distant part of the galaxy, Gregory's expedition made its first major discovery, evidence that the precursor civilization had not entirely vanished. Some had evolved into energy beings who still observed the younger races from afar. They left a message that Gregory transmitted back to the Concord. "Division leads to stagnation. Unity through diversity leads to growth. You have chosen well." Humanity had taken its place among the stars, not as conquerors or subjects, but as catalysts for a more balanced and dynamic galactic civilization. The journey was just beginning.